here's Brody Brazil.
We've got breaking news here on the YouTube channel, and from the No Surprise department, those logos, those concepts of the future of the Utah Hockey Club, they were trying to keep them private. They were trying to only display them at these 4 home games. They put them behind curtains. They told everybody to put their phones away. Well, yeah, those logos and those concepts, they have officially leaked onto the internet. I know that was a quick glance at them there. I'll show you them in full and individually in just a second, but let's recall the new final 3. Utah Hockey Club, Utah Mammoth, and then the Utah Outlaws were added back into the conversation after the Utah Wasatch were put in and then removed. All of this because the Yeti Cooler Company denied the hockey club the name Yeti. It seemed like that's what the hockey club wanted to go with. All the fans in Salt Lake City, they were all good, it seemed, with the Utah Yeti or Yetis, but the company said via trademark and patent office, can't do it, we're not in on this partnership. And so the hockey club had to come up with one of those 3 final names. And the way they wanted to display this and unveil this and have the fans vote on this during this 4-game span, which already started, I think maybe we're 3 out of 4 games into this, or we're almost at this 4th game. Like, the process here is almost over. They wanted to display all 3 of those concepts to the fans, only in person, no pictures, no images. They didn't want this to spread, well, like it has now. They wanted only eyes on this, for your eyes only, and they wanted voting to happen at Delta Center for these 4 home games. Well, as we now know, things have leaked. It's out there among the many people who put out these images. Frank Siravalli did, and he says, I can confirm these are the official logos that have been presented to Utah Hockey Club fans as part of their team name vote. Now that you've seen them, which one would you vote for? And you know what? Now that I've seen them, and again, this is just a small version, we'll get to all of them in a second, I still think Utah Hockey Club with that Yeti logo and the Yeti mountain head is very cool. And here it is. And I apologize because it's a bit grainy. I had to rework the photos here because they didn't really match up 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It looks like the jersey mock-ups are going to stay relatively the same. The blue colors, the dark blue, the light blue, the white, and the stripes kind of where they are. So I like that for the Utah Hockey Club. Depending on their name, their logo, their mascot, all of that might obviously change, but at least the colors are going to be consistent from this temporary season to upcoming seasons. Jerseys are fine. I think they can do even some more alterations and additions as they go. But I mean, we're looking mainly here at the concept of the logo. I like the font, but I also really like that Yeti logo. And this is a way for the hockey club to get around the whole patent and copyright trademark office thing, right? They can have their mascot be a Yeti or be called the Yeti. And they only call themselves the Utah Hockey Club. They'll be very particular about that. We're only the Utah Hockey Club, and our mascot is a Yeti. So what are people going to call the hockey team? Oh, the Yetis, right? Or the Yeti. People are going to naturally do this, but it won't be officially done, so the team gets the best of both worlds. They actually don't have to change their name again. They just add the Yeti as a mascot, put it on their jersey. You're done. It's as simple as that. Oh, and by the way, we'll go back to that. I liked that mountain head on the Yeti face there. I thought that was really, really well done. The Utah Mammoth. Now, all of this is going to look similar, right? Because they're kind of sticking to one concept of basically what the different logos are going to look like. The color scheme is what it is. The art kind of is what it is. So all 3 of these are going to have a similarity in presentation. But here's what I want you to notice. This is what we're officially seeing now via the leak. I want to go back to last spring when my buddy Colby the Colonel, or the Colonel Colby, I forget exactly what the nickname is, but Colby, who does great designs, they call him the Colonel, I know that. He designed these last spring. I featured them here on the channel. He gave me permission to do so. Look how close Colby's mock-up was to the actual Mammoth logo that's officially being presented and shown around by the team under closed circumstances. Like, that is pretty darn close. I mean, Colby's design only has the mammoth holding the stick and it's a little zoomed out, but in terms of the way the face is shaping and how the trunk is kind of tucked between the tusks. What am I saying here? The point is, you understand, these look eerily similar, like the team might have seen Colby's designs and used that as a starting point here. And in fact, it's not the only one that goes that way. Here's the Utah Outlaws, right? And again, what is there really to break down? And I've never really thought this was a good name. Mammoth, there are already other teams out there across sports and collegiate sports called the Mammoth. That's not entirely original. The Utah Outlaws sounds like a minor league team. It was kind of thrown back in the mix. Did they throw Outlaws back in to only make Utah Hockey Club sound even better? Like, I think this is a bad candidate, almost even on purpose to make the other ones get more votes. But anyway, there's not much to this logo. It's like, is that marketable? Is that going to sell a ton of shirts? Is that going to be a big thing? But you know what? Colby also nailed this one back in the spring. Forget the colors, put the colors aside. Colby didn't know back then what the official team colors are going to be. He was just kind of experimenting here. But look at the mock-up of Colby's crest there on the jersey and what the team has done today. Just the fact that the hat is bent in the U shape. It's got the mask covering up like literally the whole face. The fact that only the eyes are very visible underneath the hat. Like, again, Colby, you nailed it. And Colby did like 10 or 12 different mock-ups, I want to say. A bunch of different ones. So it's amazing that these were so accurate, so close in retrospect. Here are my takeaways, and I hope these are already obvious. You know me, you know this situation. In 2025, if you're going to try and do something like this and you make any part of it digital, like it gets scanned or it gets sent via an email or texted to somebody, if it's digital, it is going to leak. Now, those were bad quality images, and you'd like to think that what was being presented was a lot sharper and easier to digest, but it's going to leak, and that has been shared. Somebody probably took a picture of a picture somehow, some way to make sure that they wouldn't get in trouble. But the second it goes on the internet, obviously it's done, but the second it goes digital, it's sent digitally, and you have no more control over it, you can almost guarantee that in 2025, it's done. But maybe the hockey team was okay with that. Maybe they're not upset with this leak. I don't know. You would think in working so hard that they wouldn't be, but you would also have to assume that if they shared it in any way electronically, that this was likely to unfortunately happen. The Utah Hockey Club, in my opinion, like I said before, with the Yeti and with that logo of the mountains on the head, and just like that one fits perfect. And despite the fact that people are sometimes sour about the name Hockey Club, like it's a nothing. Well, that's fine. Utah Hockey Club, and have a mascot. Right? And you can call them the Yeti, whatever, but their official name is the Utah Hockey Club. So I think that's the best of both worlds. I think that solves a lot of problems. It checks a lot of boxes. Look, Yeti would have been perfect. But legally, and because of the Yeti Cooler Company, that's unfortunately not going to happen. I do like the color scheme remaining the same now that we've officially understood. Like, none of that was clear. Maybe if it was going to be Mammoth, it would have been browns and greens. Or if it was going to be Outlaws, it would have been dark reds and oranges. I don't know. I'm just making something up. I like the fact that they're narrowing it down to, hey, we like our colors. We like generally this look. We're only picking an official name and a mascot and a logo right now. And I just think I'll conclude my video by saying the hockey club now, it got a little messy, right? They started voting, they added an option, then they took away an option, and all of this because something they thought was going to be a slam dunk turned out not to be an option. Now there's fan voting, now it's getting leaked. Okay, it's like, I appreciate the effort. You've done all the right things in doing this in such a quick fashion so far, but now it might be time to end the party. You know, like reel in the line. I think we're done fishing for a while. It might be time to wrap this up. Pick a name. Help everybody move forward, kind of end this situation. Pick the right one. I think it could be Hockey Club. I think that logo is simple, but honestly not terrible. It could pass the test of time. That logo down there, again, the Yeti head with the mountains, now that I can see on a shirt. That I can see on sweatshirts. That I can see on hats. That I can see on a jersey. All over the place. The other two, Mammoth is okay. It's okay. Outlaws is just nothing for me. So I think that's what they got to do. That's my opinion. You tell me your take. You tell me what you think about this whole leak situation. And again, I'm assuming that nobody's happy with this in Salt Lake City. Look, and I'm only using these because they're already out there. I'm not really contributing to this. I'm only kind of reviewing it, not adding to the problem, only discussing the problem. But maybe they're not even that upset up in Salt Lake City that all this got out. Maybe it helps them get a wider scale response and try and pick the very best name and situation possible now that they're down to this final three. Hey, that's the end of this video. Thumbs up down below helps me, this video, and this channel. And one more thing while you're down there, make sure you are already subscribing so I definitely get to see you back here next time.